All right, so back at it on the whiteboard. Today I wanted to talk about different ways that you can do testing across multiple variables and how simple A/B testing is probably not actually the right approach. So let me just walk through very quickly what simple A/B testing looks like. So here I have like 5 different things that I'm looking to test. So this could just be like, 5 different things that you want to change about your landing page or your landing experience or your website or your PDP. I've just labeled them A, B, C, D, E. If each one of those you do a separate test of like, hey, I want to put it in state 1 versus state 0. So like make the change or not make the change. 5 times 2, this is a total of 10 different tests that you would have to run, right? Or 10 different pages that you would have to build. So this is the least efficient way to test these 5 variables, right? Because you're doing 5 times 2 perfectly linear, it doesn't make any sense. Okay, the way that I would do this is I would think at least about testing it in a multivariate way, which is you have 5 different versions of the page, and in each page, you have one of them where one of the variables is the change made. So in version 1, variable A is on. In version 2, B is on. In version 3, C is on. 4 is on. In version E, this one is on, right? And then there's the 5th one where the version E is on. Now here you only have to run 5, and then you compare, like, let's just say this one. So the one, if you want to see the effect of A, you just compare this one to the average of these 4. And basically the effects of the fact that these ones are on in the other 4 will get averaged out to 0 anyway, right? So in this case, I've just halved the number of pages that I need to make, or the number of tests that I need to run, and I can run 5 cells instead of 10 cells. And now the version that I prefer doesn't matter at all. So all 5 of these are all ideas that you have, and you want to test all of them. And this is, again, going back to the binomial search idea, which is like, hey, just go all the way to the other extreme and see if there's any effect at all, and then go backwards from there. So in this case, what I do is I literally just do 2, one where I turn everything on, and then the other one where I keep everything off, and I just see if anything happens. And it's like, okay, if something happens, and if the effect is material, then I can bother to go back and like check like, hey, okay, did the effect come from one of these, or did the effect come from one of these, and so on and so forth. And again, there's like specific ways that you can design it to reduce the total number of tests that you need to do to see whether there's an effect at all. Like, for example, you could run these 2, and then you could run one where these 3 are on, and then the other one where these 2 are on. And then from there, you could go to the singles if you need it. And again, you're reducing the total number of steps that you need to take. But again, this is just a way that I want you to think about experimentation, where do not think linearly, think about things in multiple variables, and think about evening out the effect of those variables, or just basically saying, hey, is there any use of these variables in the first place? All right, I hope that was useful, and I'll catch you at the next one.